He took her to be his wife. Now, it's important that you understand Jewish history because it's very different than ours. It says early in the text that Joseph and Mary were espoused. We would use the word engaged. We would say they were engaged. And yet it goes on to say at the end of that passage that he obeyed the angel and he took her to be his wife. In the meantime, he was going to put her away. There was good reason for that out of the Levitical law. Let's take a real quick look at the Levitical law, and then I'll come back to that. In Leviticus 20, verse 10, and the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. So who gets put to death? Both of them. If a man and a woman have sex out of marriage, they are both to be put to death out of the Levitical law, the law of Moses. So Joseph had full right because he was espoused to this woman. She was already in the sight of Jewish law married to him, even though they had not yet come together. She was still considered to be his wife. He had the full right to have her stoned. He had the full right to bring her out and have her stoned and publicly disgraced. And he, because he was a just man, decided not to do that. In the day that this was written, we see that the espousal would take place, the engagement would take place, and there would be a ceremony where the couple would come together. And then the husband would go away. He would leave to build a home for his wife. The amount of time between the espousal and the actual wedding was determined by the husband. How quickly he could prepare a house for his bride. When he actually came, that was the sign he was ready to take his bride. It was at that time they would have another ceremony and they would consummate the marriage and they would have a week-long feast. That was the typical, very, very normal way marriages were done in those days. So Mary, even though she was engaged, was considered to be Joseph's wife. After the dream, then Joseph immediately married her. He immediately finished the process. Do you see how that works? And so now Joseph is in this midst of, I am with this woman, I'm believing the angel. How did he believe the angel? He had to do that by faith. He had to believe by faith because this woman is obviously very pregnant. And this woman is obviously going to have a child that is obviously not his. And so by faith, he steps up and engages in faith when he doesn't even know, Mark 11:23, 4 and 5. He doesn't know about faith. He is stepping out, believing the word of the angel, and being able to take Mary unto himself. He had given up the ability to have a virgin wife. That was a huge thing in that day. It should still be a huge thing, by the way. It should still be a huge thing, but it was a really huge thing in that day. To have a virgin wife was so serious